Hey guys, it's Chala from Crafting Through the Chaos of Life. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. I am here today to show you this really fun belly band that's been inspired by Camellia Craft Designs, and I think she got it from somebody else. So unfortunately I don't know who that original person was, but if you go over to Camellia Craft Designs, and I think if you search 7 pocket belly band, this tutorial will come up that she had done. But this is kind of my take on it. I think I've only ended up getting 6 pockets because I didn't want the 7th hidden pocket that they did. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. It's still a great little piece of ephemera that I thought I would pop on, and we'll try and make another one together. I really like this so much that I want to make another one so that I have them in stash. Oh, sorry if you can hear noise behind me. My son has some friends over, so it's a little bit crazy and loud in here. Anyways, one of the nice things about this belly band is that there's lots of little flips and flaps that kind of happen, and I'll show you that. What's happening right now is these little tabs on the top are actually holding the flaps together so that it's not going anywhere. Okay, and this is actually made out of an envelope, and I'll show you how we can do that. I might try it as well with just regular paper to see if we can create something similar. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, as you can see, there is a tab at the top, a tab at the bottom. Oh, okay, sorry about that, guys. Apparently the boys are playing hide and go seek, and they wanted to see if anyone was in here. I don't think they're brave enough to try and hide in here, otherwise I'll make them craft and fussy cut something. So anyways, yeah, so where was I? Oh yes, okay, so you've got the big pocket up here. You've got another little pocket here with a journal card, one here, and then the side one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the belly band itself is 6. There is another way that you can make a 7th kind of hidden pocket in here. I didn't like doing that because I didn't like how thin it was. I wanted more of the stability for the pocket, so I didn't keep that one. Not a big deal. So let's take out everything, I guess. Okay, so we're going to take out this very long tab or tag that comes here. Actually, no, I lied. I want to save that for the end. Okay, where do we start? Okay, let's start here. So this is a little side pull out, as you can see. And then it has this cute little journaling card, and on the back there's definitely space for you to write things. And then up here is another little pocket and another little journaling card. Hopefully you can see that all right. And then this little place flips open so that you have a place to write. And then this pulls out. I made the tabs out of just regular, I think it's cardstock. I don't know what pound it is though. But it's 2 together, and it's still not as thick as I would like it to be, so I might make it out of some thicker cardstock next time. Yeah, so this is another little tag there, and so as you can see, those were holding the little flaps open. And then here you've got this another little writing space and this beautiful butterfly that popped through this window that I created. And then another little tag here. I love that one. And then you can pull this very long tag out. Isn't that beautiful? I couldn't do anything to it. I suppose I could have put a word down here or something, but I just thought it was beautiful the way it is. And lots of journaling spot on the back, or space on the back. Okay, so as you can see, lots kind of going on this project, but it's fairly simple to make, so I think we can get through it. Let's give it a go, shall we? So the first thing we need to do is, let's just set this aside. We're going to bring this probably back in as a reference. I'll set it up over here. No, that's going to be in the way. Let's set it right over here, kind of on my sewing machine. Okay, so it originally is made out of an envelope, and I had used an envelope that I got from my office that was already pre-labeled and everything, and had been cut open and stamped, the whole 9 yards. The next one I pulled out is just one that I had put my return address on for some reason. Not sure why, but this post box is no longer in effect, so I can't really use that address. I could put something over it, sure, but why not just go ahead and use this to make some ephemera? So the first thing we're going to do is glue down this little flap, just so it's kind of out of our way. And my goodness, I just jumped into everything. I didn't even say thank you to you guys for really joining me and for my new subscribers. And I hope you're all doing well and that you're finding yourself in your creative spot today. Or perhaps you're just relaxing, watching a video. Okay. So I just use glue stick for that. That should be fine for what we're doing. Now I want to bring in this base here. So this is the envelope part. So this is the part that I decided, and I think I did it this way. Did I do it this way? I think I did. So it's going to be depending on your journal how big you make it, okay? So let me pull in my journal here. So this was for this journal, and I think I had wanted it for, this is my butterfly journal, envelope journal, and I think it is it this one? So I wanted it on one of these taller pages, which I think is, oh, actually this one. I think I wanted it here. So it just really depends on how big your page is, and I don't know if you can see everything here, but I do have a little space at the top and a little space at the bottom. That's kind of what I want, or you can, definitely put it from edge to edge, but you'll have to figure out what your edge page, your page edges are. Sorry, talking is hard. I kind of went through another little rough patch, and I'm actually on a week off of holidays right now from work, just spontaneously, just to get my head right again. So I do apologize for my struggles. Okay, and this is sadly my first day in my craft room, and I've been off for a number of days already, so I'm just kind of getting back into the groove of life. So you could do it this way, the shorter side, but then your belly band, when you flip this up to get a substantial amount of pocket, your belly band is going to be much shorter. That's not a bad thing. Again, it just depends on the size of your page. I think what I want to do is I think I want to do mine this way, because I want kind of the same length, and I can cut off a bit if I need to. So my pages generally are 8.5 by 11, give or take, and this is measuring at 8.25 by 3.25. So let's kind of do the same thing. I did have started here. Oh yeah, I kind of was writing down my measurements here. I don't have them fully worked out yet. But so this was for the 7 pocket belly band. Again, mine ends up being 6, but or I guess 5 with a tuck of the belly band. Anyways, you get it. So 10.5 by 3.25 is what I want my strip, my initial strip to be, okay? So let's cut that. This will be the exact same measurement, but we'll just make this for a different journal, because that's generally the size of my pages. So I want 10.5. So let's measure 10.5 this way, and I want to cut off, I think I want to cut it this way. I don't think it really matters. Oh, the first thing we want to do is, yeah, no, let's cut it this way. Okay, don't mind me. No, I don't. Hang on. Sorry. It doesn't matter, but I feel like I want it a certain way, but it really doesn't matter, you guys. Either end doesn't matter, but I, for some reason, am really being drawn to having the opening on the right-hand side of the part that I'm going to cut off. I don't think it makes a difference. So 10.5. because we want the top to be open to create the long pocket anyway, so I might as well cut it this way. So 10.5. So basically we're cutting that entire flap off, so I didn't really have to glue that flap down. But we could use this for something else. We can make another thinner belly band out of this. We can make an over the page belly band. Yeah, there's different things we can do with this, so I mean, keep this. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is cut it at 3¼ inches. So there's 3¼ Again, you can make this as wide or as thin as you like. Obviously, you can't make it as wider than your page, but you know what I mean. And then we'll just cut that down. And I could probably get 2 out of here, but I won't have enough flaps. Okay, that's fine. We'll just cut 1 for now and then go as we go. Cut as we go, I guess. Yeah, I'm still a little foggy-headed, so bear with me. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we have our opening then here. Okay, I want to glue this opening down. Okay, can you see that? So this was part of the envelope, and it now opens up like this. I want to glue this edge, so let's go ahead and do that. Well, I'm going to have to cut this anyways, because I'm a fool. You're going to have to cut both ends off anyways, so it doesn't matter. Because this is going to be our other little pocket. So I'm just going to cut a sliver, tiniest little sliver off here just to open that edge. Okay. So that it opens like this, right? You see that? And then what I want to do is I want to glue down this edge here, because this is going to be folded up and it's going to create another pocket. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so before we do that, let's just take a look here. What is this measuring at? This is 6.5 inches. Okay, that's really good to know. Let's try cutting some other paper here. What do I have? Let's do this. Okay, so let's cut this as well. Let's make 2 at once. So I'm going to show you how to do it with an envelope and how to do it with paper, okay? So we want 6.5 inches. So this is a standard 8.5 by 11 that I'm cutting. I know I'm not fully on screen, but you'll see in a minute here. Okay, so 6.5. Get that straight. So we'll cut it down at 6.5, and we have this fun little strip that I'll put in my strip pieces. Okay, and then we want 10.5. So there's 10.5. And we have another fun little strip that I'll just set to the side. I like that the stripes go different ways. Okay, now to catch this piece up to speed with this piece, we want to score it in half. So let's grab our scoreboard. Oh my goodness, I have somehow left the pin out of my glue. And we all know what that does, so bear with me as I just pop that back in. Okay, so I want this scored. Oh, why is this wider? I didn't cut it at 6.5. I cut it at something random. Did I not? No, that's 6.5. Why does that say 7.5? Isn't that interesting? Because this is 7.5. Why did I cut it at 7.5 and not 6.5? Well, that's beyond me, but we'll fix it. So 6.5 is actually about 6.25. That's got to be 6.5 right there. Sorry, it's right at the fold of this, so it makes it a little difficult to see. Again, if it's a little thinner or thicker, whatever, it doesn't matter. Don't know why I'm getting so hung up about it, but I am, so bear with me. Okay, so 6.5, and then this is 6.5. Yay. Okay, and this for some reason is a little longer. I do need to cut that down because I don't have pages that big. So I want 10.5. What did I cut this at? Did I not cut this at 10.5? 10.5. It's right there. Okay, well then let's go down to 10. And then that at least gives us another kind of more substantial piece to play with later on with something else. Okay, so again, that just shows you that you can plan out your measurements all you want, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So this is 6.5 by 10. Sure, that'll work. So 6.5 folded in half. So this is my piece here. So yeah, about 3.25. So let's score that at 3.25. Right here. And this is a fairly thicker piece of cardstock. It's not as thick as like 49 and Market paper. I'd probably say it's on the same lines, maybe a little bit thinner than Tim Holtz paper. I don't know what the weight that is. Oh, I want to use this actually to fold that over just so I can get a nice crease like so. Okay, so now we are caught up on our two pieces. So I can show you properly how to do this with paper or with an envelope. And again, I don't know why I'm zoomed in so much. Let me just grab the remote here and see if I can scooch out a bit for you guys. I guess that's as far out as I can go. So, okay, we've got it folded in half. Now what we want to do is we want to fold our pocket up. And my pages in general are 8.5 by 11, so I don't want anything more than 8.5, right? So because this is 10.5, that if I go 2 inches for a pocket, if I fold it up 2 inches, that'll be good, but let's do 2.5 inches. Bring out my little mini score guy here. So let's score the bottom, whatever our bottom is going to be, at 2.5 inches. Okay, there's 2.5 there. Good. And then this one measures at 10, so yeah, we can do 2.5 again on this one. And I suppose I want to actually open this one up. This is a bit thicker than the envelope, so okay. Tuck that guy back where he belongs. So now we have this going on, and I see when I fold it up it kind of is off kilter here. I'm just going to give that a little wee bit of a trim. Just the slightest trim. Just to even that up. And then before we glue down, we want to put in our thumb notches, if you want a thumb notch. Not really sure that that helped much, but let's try refolding and see if that helps at all. Okay, well, it is what it is. What if I folded it this way? Would it make a difference? Oh, it looks better that way. Okay, so I guess we'll do it that way. No harm, no foul. We'll figure it out. Okay. And it looks like it's bubbling a little bit, but that's okay because you want it to have a little bit of bend to it after we glue it down. So, okay, thumb notch. And then this one I gotta fold. Yeah, it's a little easier folding the thinner papers rather than thicker, but I like the weight of the thicker as a belly band for some reason. Okay, now thumb notches. I'm just using a 1-inch hole punch. And then I'm looking at this square here, okay? And I'm just going to eyeball what I think might be center. I am sure there's a more precise way on doing this, but oh, what's going on? My punch is not happy. Calm down, you. That usually happens when it does not like the weight of paper that I am clipping. So to get around that, I'm just grabbing a piece of book page that was in my recycling. It was all glued up. And we'll just hold these two together and just try repunching it. Still doesn't really like that, so I'll just have to use my scissors. I wonder if I dropped it or something. I don't remember dropping it, or I think it worked fine the last time I used it. And it looks like it's punching nicely there, but didn't like the file folder. Okay, well, that's fine. So yeah, I didn't do this one. I did a little differently. I didn't put a thumb notch here. I put a thumb notch there. So how am I going to do this one? I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to put a thumb notch on this side pocket, on the back pocket here. So that's fine. Okay, now let's glue it down. Oh, I lied. Hang on, I'm going to get excited. Let's punch the hole first in this one. And this one should go a little nicer because it's a thicker cardstock. And we have more of pattern to kind of follow. That, woo, there we go. Might make it easier, might not, to find the center. It is what it is. I'm not stressing. Okay, and then let's ink this guy up before I glue it down, because otherwise it's going to be harder to do later. So as you can see, you can alter this. You can have a tab, not have a tab. You can, thumb hole. You can change where your thumb hole is from here on the side to here on the bottom, Make it yours. Put your own twist on it. Okay, oh, and then I want this inked up as well. I don't know, inking just kind of brings the piece alive. Like, it gives it that extra dimension, and it just, yeah, as soon as it has ink on it, I just feel it's warmed up and it's inviting, and you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Just looks a little more appealing and comforting and inviting. All those things. It's like I can see a couch and it can have nice throw pillows on it. That's great. Perfect. That's wonderful. But you throw a blanket on that couch, oh, and it's at a different level now. It's at comfort level 5,000 for me. As soon as I see a blanket, I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. Okay. Now this has this fun little window. Now If you are using an envelope that already has a window in it, then you can definitely cut around that. Ooh, let me see if I have one. You can definitely cut around that to work as the window in your belly band. And let me just see here. I might not have one. Most of them that I have are windowless, but I've got to have one in here. I can show you this one. Oh, ding, ding. Everything's dinging, everything's buzzing. People want to talk to me, but I'm busy. I'm busy crafting, people. Okay, so here you can see that there is a window already on this, right? So then when you are folding this up, again, it doesn't matter the size of an envelope, right? So you're just going to cut it, say, down here a little bit, and you might want to trim a little off this side and reglue it, but that's how you would deal with that, right? And then you already have your window. You don't have to cut one, but we don't have a window, and I want a window. Okay, Lexi, my daughter, darling, is messaging me something. I think it's a game that her and her friend are playing. She's got a friend over too. Oh, and something about the goldfish is 6 feet under. We don't have a goldfish, so I'm not concerned. But they must be trying that, you know, where when you text and you just randomly punch whatever word suggestion comes up. I think that's what they're doing. So, okay, so we want a window. So we need to punch a window in front here. Now, use whatever dies you have. I have a set from my card making days that I used on this one, okay? So, sorry, I got cords everywhere here. Okay, so this one is from Lawn Fawn, and it is the slider. What is it? My mom did such a nice job of packaging these up for me, but I don't actually have the name on here anymore, I don't think. It's the, Magic Slider one. So these are the pieces that you get with the Magic Slider. I'm just using those pieces, and so it comes with like a heart, or it comes with an oval. For fun, let's use an oval maybe on this one. Then we have the contrast of like the kind of square shape, the stripes, and then an oval. And then this one, we'll just use the same window I did on that one. Okay. And then I'm sure you all know how to die cut, right? If you have a die cutting machine. I actually have several die cutting machines. I have a Silhouette, which I actually used to make the tabs on here. I don't have a tab physical punch, so I used my Silhouette and the cut files that I have to die cut some of these little tabs out already. So if you have a tab, but I also, having said that, let me just come back and say that this set as well from Lawn Fawn also has some kind of little tabs that you can use, and I did use that on the side piece of one. I wanted to try it out, but I wanted an array of tabs, a whole bunch of different tabs. So that's why I used my Silhouette, and it's just faster with the Silhouette because you can cut many things out, whereas with my Gemini Junior, which I absolutely love, I'm limited to this size. Okay, so with my Silhouette machine, and I also have a brother scan and cut. That's a story. So with those ones, I'm like limited to basically 12 by whatever my page length is, like 24 or whatever. I can cut a lot longer in length or wider in length. Also, I have the Gemini Junior. I have the Sizzix embossing cutting machine. I have the Cricut, not the Cricut, the Silhouette, and the curio. The curio is at my mom's. That one can do like metal and leather and stuff. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I have a bunch of different machines. Use what you have. Like, don't go out and buy anything that you don't already own. There's ways that you can definitely, oh my goodness, this is driving me nuts, you guys. I'm just going to pause this for a second and then have a little chat with my daughter. 1 second. Did you get the text I just sent you? I'm trying to do a video. Hey, get back here. Alexis! Close my door. I'm trying to do a video. Okay? Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. That was, yeah, they were definitely playing some sort of game there, and something about eating things and clogging toilets. I don't know. I don't get the kids' humor these days, but what do I know? Okay, so yeah, use whatever die cut machine you have. I am going to go ahead and die cut these off camera because you don't need to see that. I should have probably done that when I paused it to give my daughter heck for all the dinging. But yeah, actually, let's just go ahead. I'm going to grab some washi tape. I'll line these up and then I'll pause you for the actual die cutting, I guess. Just some random washi tape just to hold this down. So this one has some. And how do I want to line that up? I want a little bit more room at the top here so that I can have a thumb notch. But I also want flaps. This is a little bit smaller. I also want the flaps to be kind of generally the same sizes as well. Okay, so for this, I can't put it through like this, otherwise it's going to cut through both, right? So I actually unfold it. Is that going to stick enough for me? I kind of have trust issues with this washi tape, so I'm going to actually abort mission here and just use some new stuff. It's not like I have a shortage, so. Okay, let's try this again. Line that up about there. So we've had kind of some cooler, rainier weather here lately, which is kind of funny because it was so sunny and nice, and I feel like my mood definitely is reflective of the current weather. Like, it's kind of sunny, but then it gets really cool and rainy in the afternoons and windy. Why will you not stick down? Okay, so then I'm just going to fold this backwards like this. Why won't you stick? I need just a little bit more stick on this washi tape. Okay, so bring in my plate. And I want just a piece of cardstock, and I'll tell you why. So if I was to fold this back and run it through like this, I'm likely going to get an indent on my paper of the back of this. So I'm going to put this over top so it doesn't indent this. Not a big deal if I didn't put a little shim in there, because this is going to be on the back anyways and you won't see it. But I want to get in the habit of doing things properly so that if it does show on the back, I don't have that big bumpy thing. Does that make sense, kind of? Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say there. It's just good to have good habits, right? And not lazy habits where you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And then you realize you don't want to stick it fully down and you want to see the back, or you just want to clip it in. It makes things easier if you change your design halfway through. So put this in here. No, I lied. I don't want to do that. I need my metal or my magnetic plate. There we go. Now I put this down. Okay, I'll run this through my die cut machine and I'll do the same thing with the other one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got them die cut out. I did ink up this one. That was something I did forget to do on my first one, was ink up the edges of the window. So I wanted to remember to do that. So I've done that on this one and I'll do it on the envelope. And this is just a waffle flower inking mat. It's the smaller one. I really like this for working with stuff kind of like this. It's flimsy paper, so to try and ink it this way is really difficult. However, if I use this little inking mat, it seems to work a lot better, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, ripping or folding or anything of the paper that I don't want. And you can see that that's inked up fairly nicely now. And I just tuck that back away and it's ready for the next time we need it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is add our windows. So I'm flipping them over to the wrong side. So I also wanted to note that even though I did put a paper shim in between, you can see it still has that imprint of the die. So can you imagine how much more it would have been if I didn't have that piece of paper? Next time I think I'll use the metal shim in between, just so it doesn't leave that mark at all. It's not overly noticeable, but again, because this one's double-sided, right, I could easily just clip that on a page and you could take it out, but then when you see on the back, you'll be able to feel it. I'll probably use this one as a belly band as well, but just, you know, something to keep in mind if you don't want to actually use it as a belly band. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is our window. So we're going to put the wrong side up. Okay, so these are our right sides. These are the wrong sides. And we can tell because there's no inking on any of the corners here. So that's how I know that it's the wrong side up. And then I have just some acetate, again, for my card making days. That's what I love about junk journaling, is you can use all the crafts that you typically do and incorporate them all into one, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and measure how high my oval is. So I will need it to be at the very least 3 inches. And then this one, 3 inches is definitely good. And then I'll need it at the very least 2 3/4 inches at the very least. And this one needs to be 3 inches. Okay. So that one was at the very least 3. Okay. So bring up my cutter. So I think I can get 2 out of this one strip if I cut it this way. So this is 3 inches. And this stuff is hard to see and it causes reflection. I'm sorry about that. I know you can't really see me cutting this, but it is there. So definitely one was 3 by 3. I think, was it 3 by 3? I am going to say 3 by 3 1/4 actually for this guy over here, this rectangle. That should be good. This one hopefully will cover, yes, our oval. Perfect. Okay. Again, no real precise measuring here, just doing what kind of works. All right, so there's many different ways that you can, of course, secure these windows down. If you have double-sided tape, you are more than welcome to use that. I have some, it's just over there, and I'm not really feeling like getting up to go get it, so I'm going to use art glitter glue. And when you do this, you want to make sure that when you flatten this down, that you push your glue out towards the edges, not into the circle or into the square, if that makes sense. I'll show you in this one. Okay, so this is going to come down about here, maybe a little higher. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to squish it down. Just wiping off any glue that comes out. Oh, shoot. Settle down there, Nelly, settle down. Had it over the crease just a bit. I'll have to do some trimming. So you don't want to push it this way into the hole, just in case it gets, you know, on the window of your little view point there, your window, right? You don't want to get it on there. So that should be good. And I do have a little bit hanging over. We'll just go ahead and clean that up. Not a big deal. No one will ever know, except for you and I. There, so that one is done. And we're gonna let that dry just a titch before we mess around with it. And we'll do this one. Get my glue down. Go along the edges. And again, you want it quite close to the edges so that when you're pushing things in and out of the pocket, it doesn't get caught on any corners or anything. There we go. Push this down. Like this. And then this is pretty close, so I want to push it up so that no glue comes down into that window. There we go. And we'll just let that one sit and ruminate for a bit. And if you do get anything on your window, a little bit of glue or anything, it should easily come off with like a baby wipe or just, you know, a dry baby wipe with just a little shot of water. Give it a little cleaning. Should be fine. All right, so that one is done. Let's come back to this one. The next thing we want to do is we want something behind the window so when we take our tag out that it doesn't look like just the back of the envelope, or in this case just white. Okay, we want something interesting behind there. You can have just an image. You can have just plain paper like that. Let's see what we have in our scraps. Actually, what do I have here? I could do that butterfly, or I could do that. Look for this one. No, I don't like the orientation of any of those, so I'll have to do, although that might work because I am using this, what is this, twill pattern? Is that what they call it? There's a name for it, I just can't remember. I can't get it either to show you. So this here, I don't know what that's called, but it kind of is similar. So let's use this for that. This for that. Okay. And let's just go ahead and put this back on before it dries up. And I want my, I've been finding lately I'm struggling to rip paper. It's just not pushing down hard enough on my glass. I don't know what's going on. It's probably user error. But this little piece of foam, craft foam that I have, if I put this underneath my ruler, when I go to rip, it has less chance of ripping wonky, if that makes sense. So I think we can rip it right about here. Try and make sure it's somewhat straight. That's always nice to do. And then it just, that foam just gives me a little extra there. Oh, I ripped off that butterfly's wings, but oh well. We can always reprint this. That's the joyous thing about digitals, is you can reprint them if you mess up. It's not like I have hoarder syndrome with papers that like physical papers that I buy. Because, you know, once they're gone, they're gone. I can't reprint them, right? I have to go out and buy them. And as you all know, I am not buying anything this year. So there's that. Although I will admit, my mom and I went out the other day and she bought me this beautiful, beautiful ruler. And what makes it so beautiful is the fact that it is a centering ruler, and it has what all the little ticks are called. So instead of me saying, oh, it's 5 and a tick, or 5 and 2 ticks, I can say it's 5 and 1/8, it's 5 and 3/16. So now I have exact measurements here. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Mom. I so love you. She's such a good mom, my mama bear. So yeah, this came from a store called Scrap and Dippity here in Calgary. They have 2 locations, one in the north and one in the south. And I visited the one in the south. This is usually the one I go to. And yeah, just thought this was really cool. So the only thing I don't really like about it is the white writing on it. I would prefer if it would have been black. It would have been easier to see, I think. But they said you can put something on the back to make it easier, but then I think it would be like less easy to see the lining up. I don't know. Anyways, I just find it difficult with the white. All that to say. Okay, so let's do this guy here. Okay, so I'm not gluing it to the window. I'm gluing it here on the back. So let's line it up on the back. I think that looks good. So how am I going to glue this? Well, I have some cool glue here somewhere. What? I have glue? Yes, I have glue. I have repositionable glue. Do I not? I thought I did. Maybe not. Oh, here we go. Stick and restick, repositional temporary adhesive. So let's just, I think you just have to let it dry a little bit. Test for best results. Brush a thin coat on embellishment back, let dry, blot away excess, and then reapply glue as needed. Okay, so yeah, I've had this for quite some time and found it as I was cleaning. I found a lot of stuff as I was cleaning, you guys. So it's almost like I've gone shopping and I haven't. I've just literally found what's in my stash and been able to shop my stash. Okay, so we'll line this up like this. I think that looks pretty good. And we'll just close this down. And then I'm going to come in with our glitter glue and then just seal the edges. Again, you want the edges to be nice and glued down so that when you're bringing your tag in and out, that it is not going to get ripped or caught up on that. There we go. I'll just do this side. Well, we're getting close to my daughter's birthday and Stampede here. Her birthday's on Friday, and that's the Stampede Parade. We do not participate in that. We did last year, which was a big, huge mistake, because it was a lot of money for a lot of nothing. I mean, it's great for our economy, but if you live here, ugh, everything is so expensive, and, you know, for what you get, for what we were able to do last year during the Stampede, it wasn't a lot, so it was kind of disappointing. Now I got some glue goobies on there that I don't really like, and I know I have an eraser somewhere. But where is a whole other issue. I thought I had myself nice and organized. But alas, I don't. I was trying to keep everything that I need kind of in arm's reach here. Oh, there it is right in front of me. Look, arm's reach. I'll just kind of clear off some of that glue. It's not a big deal, but it just would make me feel better if I tried. Gives it a little bit of extra something, something. So there we go. We've got that one glued down. You see how that's coming together? I might only do one pocket on this one, just because of the way that this is so big, because otherwise the 2 pockets isn't going to work really well. So that's okay. We can definitely fix things as we go here, make it a little different. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine, or exactly the same as the one that Julie did, or, you know, just take your creative liberties with it. Okay, so let's bring this guy back, and I said I wanted to do one of these butterflies, but then I ended up ripping off the wing. Oopsie dingles. That's okay. Do we have another one that might work? I ripped off the one that I really wanted. Oh well. C'est la vie. I was not thinking. Let's do something else then. We don't have to do butterflies. We can do something completely different. And I'm just checking in my scraps here. Oh, and I was also thinking, what might be cool is if you embossed your back piece here. This just reminded me of that. If you embossed this, that would add another cool texture to it. Something big enough. Not sure any of this is going to be what I want or need, but I mean, it's kind of yellow. I mean, it's not bad, but it's like really orange, right? It's kind of orangey, matchy, matchy. Ooh. Or we could do this, and this could be some sort of fall type journal. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Then I'll have one for a fall journal. Kind of have some ideas of fall journals I want to make, so this might be good. And so what I could do is just not even decorate the tags yet. I could just make them and then decorate them with whatever pieces come, say, in an ephemera kit or whatever. Decorate it to match. Okay. Let's go ahead and rip this down. Tell you, boys are so different than girls. My daughter and her girlfriend are playing, you know, aside from the dinging of the text messages, they play really quiet. The boys are down here. We have an area where my husband lets them shoot BB guns into, our basement's undeveloped, so he lets them shoot them into this kind of area that's a future bathroom. And oops, this way. And so it just kind of goes into the BBs go if they overshoot whatever they're shooting at, it goes into the insulation. So yeah, it'll be interesting when we finally develop it down here, or you know, the next person who gets the house, they're gonna be like, what is, like go along the wall with like a stud finder and it's gonna be beeping like crazy. They're gonna be like, what? I don't understand. There's gonna be all the BBs that are in there. Not my idea of something I wanted them to do, but we don't live on a farm, so they can't go out and shoot BBs on the outside. So I guess in here downstairs, you know, they're wearing protective gear and everything, not to worry. They're wearing eye gear and what have you. I already told them a scary story of friends of ours, friends of my parents. Mark was his name, and his brother and him were shooting BB guns. This is not for the faint of heart, so if you get squeamish, you might want to skip this part. But him and his brother had gone, and they were shooting BBs, and I don't know if they shot a tire or something happened. It ended up bouncing back and into Mark's eye. And they didn't want to get in trouble, obviously, and so they thought it would be a good idea to try and get the BB out of his eye with a fork. Yeah, needless to say, Mark was blind in one eye after that. Can you imagine? Like, that's just kind of the things that boys do that I don't understand. At what point in time did it seem like a good idea to take a BB out of your brother's eye with a fork? Ugh, gross. Okay, sorry, I've probably really turned all your stomachs now, but all right, so now we're going to go ahead and do our gluing on the side here, because we've got everything. We've got our little window, and we've got our back pretty piece done. So now we can go ahead and glue this closed. And this is like a really long video, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Hopefully you don't mind hanging out. Okay, so there is that. And again, it doesn't bother me if it's puckered up like that at all. You see that? That doesn't bother me because we're going to be slipping things in and out anyways. So having that little extra wiggle room is just fine with me. It's not bending weird or anything, so. Okay, and then we're gonna glue, for this one, we're going to glue this side and this side so that we have a tuck on that side. Okay, so a little bit different than what we did. Whoops. Can you see? Okay, so I want this to be a side tuck because then we've got a top pocket here. All right. Okay. Just let that dry for a second. And we'll move on to this bad boy. And we'll glue this down. Hopefully you guys can see. I feel like my camera has moved or something. Something's gone wonky with it. Maybe I'm just not used to videoing. That could be too. It's been a while. Okay. Oh, my wonderful friend Rosanna and her daughter Nicola. Hi, Nicola. Nicola watches videos with her mom sometimes. They came over to visit me and cheer me up, which was so lovely of them. And they helped me make some ephemera, and we made a ton of kind of like curio cards or cabinet cards. They did such a great job. And then I was working on tea cards. All the fussy cutting that I've had printed out for I don't know how long, like eons, and just haven't gotten around to getting it done. So that was nice that they came and did that with me, and so I have lots of ephemera to play with now. Awesome. Okay. Should have had that up just a bit maybe, but that is fine. Okay, so the next thing to do is our flaps. Now, obviously this one has 2 flaps. This one I'm going to do one big flap. I think. Yeah, we'll do one big flap. And this one, I think I can do two. So with your leftover pieces that you have for your envelope, we can create a flap. So let's just figure out how high we want this one to be. So just a little bit more than 3 inches, I think. So 3 1/16. Haha, look at me. 3 1/16 or 3 1/8. Let's see here. 3 1/8. Okay, first one is 3 1/8. So I'm just using the leftover pieces of that envelope. Again, it's going to end up being a pocket and a flip. Okay, so this one we want to open this way. So then I'm going to give it a bit of a score. And I'm just going to score at the 1 inch mark just so that it covers this here. Don't try and mail anything there now, because I'm not going to get it. That box is closed. If you want to mail me something, let me know. I'll give you the, I need something different here. I'll give you my address. If you want to mail me something, I need a Distress Oxide re-inker. I have Distress ink, but I really am enjoying the oxide a lot more, to tell you the truth, lately. And then this guy, I've been re-inking him, and I don't have a big one like this, so this guy is getting really, really old now. He's starting to die. And this one, as you can see, this little pad is kind of coming off. I suppose I could figure a way to glue it down, but oh well. Anyways, that's what I need. That's what I need in my life, and I can't buy till next year. So there's that. Okay, but I'm gonna be good. I'm being good. I am being good. All right. So we've got that, and that is going to fit over like so. And then we're just going to mark it on where we need to cut it. Oops, it's okay. So I've got my line there that I can follow. It's actually just about right on the fold mark there. So close. Okay. So this is a fairly simple, I can use that for something. This is a fairly simple project, to tell you the truth. Okay, so we've got this one now, like so. And then the other one will have opening the other way, but we need to measure that. So we need to measure our distance of that one. So it's going to be a bit smaller. That's okay, and I might end up having to trim this just a wee little bit. We'll see. Okay. And I just got to figure out how to read this. There we go. So this is going to be a tiny one. This is going to be about a 2 inch. Just a 2 inch little buddy, but that's okay. They don't have to be the same size. No one says they have to be the same size. Make them however you want to fit. Okay, so we've gotten at least one belly band out of one envelope. And then this one we're going to have open this way. I'll have to glue that down. Okay. And let's line this up again. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. And, oh, there, okay. And then we'll mark it and then cut it. Put it in the oven for baby and me. Oh, no, I didn't do that right. I did not do that right, you guys. That was close. So what I'm going to do is, that's going to be my score line. So put that at about 1 inch. Okay. I think I am right now. And then we'll just score on this line. I don't like that one for this. Where is it? There we go. There we go. Put our things back so we know where they are when we need them. All right. So again, before we do anything with these, gluing them down or anything, we want to put in any thumb notches that we want, okay? So for this one is going to go this way. And I want a thumb notch kind of in the same place for both of them. So I think what I'll do is I'll try and, can I cut them together? I don't think I can. I need, oh, let's just use this. Some thicker paper here. Just so my punch goes through nicely. And about, this is tricky, guys, trying to hold it together. There we go. Holding it together has been one of my biggest problems lately, to tell you the truth. Oh, just trying to hold it together. That's going to be my new thing from now on. Oh, that just shot me right in the chin. When people start, you know, when people ask you, I know they're just trying to be nice. Hey, how you doing? And you're like, fine, I'm good. You know, you lie, right? As we do, we lie. From now on, I'm just going to respond, just trying to hold it together. Because really, just trying to hold it together, people. Okay, how am I going to do this now? I kind of hooped myself because of the way that this is closed here. Let's see here. Put that about there. I kind of usually like the circle punches to be, or the little thumb notches to be somewhat centered amongst all of them, but if they're not, then they're not. I'm not going to cry about it. Not on camera anyways. No, I'll be fine. It'll be okay. And I mean that. There we go. Okay. Look at that. We've got that done and dusted. So this guy is going to go up top. This guy is going to go up bottom. Now, do I need to glue any of this one? Not on this one, but this one I do. So here's where we ink and glue. So this one I need to glue on this side. And then we just have to remember when we create our journal cards for this, that you got to remember you kind of have a little bit of an edge here where your glue is, that it's going to narrow the distance of what you can slide in there, right? Okay. Now let's ink. Actually, let's put this back in our glue first, so no catastrophes arise. Put that away. Put the lid on our glue stick. Okay, so we're good. Now we're going to ink. Oh, boys are funny. They're lifting weights and just kind of, you know, doing guy things, I guess. It's just so different than girls. Okay. Yeah, see I mean, the distress ink isn't bad, but with the oxide, you don't get kind of mushy stuff. Like, I think I don't know what's going on here. I gotta really kind of move that ink around on the sponge a little bit. There we go. I just gotta remember to do it lightly now, because it is a juicy sponge now. Yeah, the oxide just seems to, I don't know, I like the kind of chalkiness of it. I mean, they both have their places. Let's just say that. Okay, so we got to make sure that this comes to the top, and then that will tell us where that can go, like that. Perfect. So we are going to glue that down. Like so. Again, using art glitter, I just trust it a lot better than the glue stick for, you know, things that you're going to be manipulating and moving often. Glue that down as well. That's kind of important. Otherwise our pocket will come flying open. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, and we got to do the bottom. I forgot the bottom, you guys. I mean, that could be a really cool extra belly band on there, but that's not what we want. We'll save that extra belly band idea for something else. Maybe you guys can run with that, create something. A belly band with one flap like this, that's got a smaller tag that fits through it, and then a large, you know what I mean. Go with it. Run with that idea, my friends, run with it. Okay. Pocket complete. Let's do this one. I know inking isn't a lot of fun to watch, but that's what we need to do. So that's what we're going to do. I mean, we're not going to get them decorated, but that's okay. At least we get them made, and then you guys can figure out how you want to decorate them on your own for whatever project you're doing. I don't want to overly influence how you decorate your stuff. I want it to still be your project, right? And that's the beautiful thing about this. I mean, there's only so many ideas that you can come up with. And you're never stealing anybody's idea, because it's likely been done before, but you're just, oh, I don't know what's going on, lots of beeping. Oh, they're on the bike, right. Yeah, it's because you are using your own supplies and decorating it in your own style and doing your own thing, it's not going to be exactly like somebody else's. And if you make a mistake and do something just a little different, there you go. You've changed it enough for it not to be solely somebody's idea anymore. Okay. Glue that down. Boy, oh boy, boys eat a lot too, you guys. My goodness. They're constantly eating, drinking. I don't mind the, you know, making sure they drink enough water and stuff, but the snacking is a killer. Okay. So there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 for the belly band, right? So that one is done. So it's very similar to this one, right? This one, the pockets were pretty much the same size. This one, we've got a couple different sizes of pockets, and that's okay. This one had a side pocket here, and then this is a pocket there. This one we've got the pocket here, and then the secret side tuck there. Okay, and then this one, we're just going to do one big flap, and I want to use this for it, and I kind of want that image. Do I want the little kids with the wheelbarrow thing? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Or do I want the house? I kind of want the house. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. This is about 5 inches. 5 inches is what we want. And now, see, I can't see the numbers on here. So, trying to center it here, guys. Line that up. I think that'll give me what I need. Okay, sorry. Pencil, where did my pencil go? So I want to cut it here. And then 5 inches, if I can see my 5 inches, is right about there. Just kind of mark it a little better so that I can see. So there and there. Now for this one, am I going to have a pocket? Yeah, I can have a pocket. We will make it a pocket. That. And this over here. Okay. I want to cut it down about where do I want the house to be? I think right here. And then from there, I need to score it. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure things out as I go along here with the paper. It's a little easier with the envelope because it's already double folded for you, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. Maybe I won't even do this one a pocket. Maybe I'll just have it flip out for writing space. I could also do that. Okay. Like so. I actually want to score that back again the other way, just so I can fold it a little nicer. Okay, and then I just want an inch on the side, the fold side. I don't need more than an inch. So we're going to line that up, put that down, and then this is going to give us a fun piece to do something with later. Okay. Fold that over. And then that should fit quite nicely over top of this, but let's ink it up first. And I mean, what we could do on this one let's do it. I'm going to round the tops on this one, because why not? Yeah, I kind of like that. Just a little bit better. You do you, though. Okay, get this all inked up. There we go. Oh, and I didn't put a thumb notch in the top here. I wanted to put a thumb notch in the top. Is that the end all be all? No. No. No, it's not, and that's okay. So there we go. We just made another different alteration. Okay, so this one is not going to have a thumb notch there. It's just going to have a tab to pull out. And then there, and then this is going to go around these corners, like so. Yeah. I mean, I should have rounded these corners too, but it's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Oh, I got lots of little corners in there that I got to empty out. What did Nicola call it? What was it, Nicola? You'll have to remind me. The chompy is what she said she was doing. The ka-chunk or something like that. I'll do the ka-chunking or something like that. It was funny. Made me laugh. So there we go. Got that one. And then I'm actually just going to miter the corners just so it looks a little bit neater. Again, not straight, that's okay. So this one, I mean, we could technically, let's do it the right way though. We could technically just clip on something because it looks nice on the back, but we're not going to. Nope, we're going to glue it into the book as it is meant to be. Let's make sure we get everything straight and narrow here. Perfect, just like that. Playing with a toy piano out there. It's funny. Haven't heard that thing in years. It's amazing what they get up to when they're not on video games, right? It's just a different type of play altogether, more imaginative and just a better, for me, I think it's a better play. Like, don't get me wrong, we did a video game marathon with our kids the one day because, you know, I said to my husband, listen, if we can't beat them, we got to join them, right? Like, it's always such a fight to get them off video games. So I decided, let's just join them. So we did a video game marathon because we have a PS4 and a Xbox something or other. And, excuse me, so my husband and one son were playing Halo on the Xbox, and then I was playing UFC and a whole bunch of other games with Minecraft and that dragon game, the little cute dragon, what's his name? Spyro. I was playing Spyro. Yeah, so with my other son and my daughter, she wasn't really into video games, so she was just watching videos on her iPad as we played. But everyone had a good night that night and stayed up way too late binging. But you know, it was fun. Sometimes you need to do that. Let kids, you know, just kind of get it out of their system, and then that whole next day, they really weren't on it at all, which was nice. So, okay, so as you can see here, we have our original envelope. And then we've got this one here that we made. And so the next step would be to, excuse me, put in writing papers if that's what you want here, here and here. And then you're going to make your tags to fit. Okay, so this one, remember, is going to have two tags, a slide out this way and a pull up that way. This one has a slide in this way, a tuck down here, and then each of these. And then this one just has two pockets, actually three pockets. So one here, and one here, and then the belly band. but then it has this little flip out, and then here you can write. I'm not even going to back that with paper or anything, I don't think. It's just a nice writing space all on its own. But we need to make a tag for here. Excuse me. So, I think you guys know how to make tags. I'm not going to go into that. I just thought I'd show you some different variations of this kind of belly band thing that you can do. So you just need to remember however many pockets that you have is what you're going to make, right? And then make sure you're measuring. When you do measure for how big to make your tags, you want to leave about an 1/18 of an inch on either side for your glue. Excuse me. Because your pocket's going to be a little bit smaller on the inside than it measures on the outside, right? So just measure, you know, how big you need to make them. And then the tabs are the way that the flaps hold down, right? So then how did this go in here? Sorry, I'm going to take a drink. Oh, better. Okay, so we have, this one goes down here, like so, and it's going to hold that flap closed. This one went in here. This one gets tucked down in here. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that because I want to put this big boy in. It's a beautiful big tag, and that butterfly just worked so nicely in that window, didn't it? There we go. Oh, get in there, little turkey. There we go. Once you slide it in and out a couple times, it'll definitely loosen up. Or you can just take your ruler and go down in there and just kind of, you know, give it a little bit of a loosen up. And that'll help slide it easier. Another thing you can do, which I haven't done in a really long time, but it would make sense to do. This is an embossing powder bag, and it's meant to make sure that, you know, things don't stick where they're not supposed to stick when you're embossing. But it also can work really well on your tags. And so usually it's just cornstarch or baby powder or something in here, in that little sachet. But now this should slide a lot easier. See? It slides a lot easier now. Okay, so there we go. We've got that in. And then remember goes up here like that. And then believe goes here like so. And then we'll glue this down. In fact, let's do that. So you guys kind of saw how I did it. Let's glue this into our book while we're here right now. Let's do it. No sense waiting. And then you can see how it looks in the book. And it doesn't bother me that the tab's going to be hanging up over the top. That doesn't bother me at all. If it does bother you, then again, you're going to want to make your belly band shorter so that your tag top does not go over. Okay? And you don't have to use tabs like this. It's just, it works really nicely because it holds the pockets closed for you. You can do whatever you want for your tag toppers. It's just your windows might, or your little flaps might flap open. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and glue this down. There. And here. Like so. And there we go. Just glue it down like that. And then now, I just want to grab something here I think that I might have that would work. Let's see. Sorry, I know you guys can't see me, but I'm definitely trying to find, aha, this is what I want. Is it going to work? I have this beautiful postcard of butterflies. Doesn't quite work. I'll have to make something nice and big for there, but you get the picture, right? I mean, I could just tuck it in like that. That would be fine too. So yeah, just find something that you like to tuck in there. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know it was on the longer side. I seem to really kind of gravitate towards about an hour and a half on projects. So I do apologize that it is a longer one. But I am very glad that I was able to get on here and hang out with you guys. Thank you to whoever has stuck around to the very end of this. I hope you have an amazing day, that you can get creative, and just remember, P.S. I love you.